Plaintiff Charles Jacobs Jr. met the defendant through his girlfriend, who was with him in court today. Charles claims he and his girlfriend moved in with the defendant, and she often interfered in their relationship. Charles is suing the defendant because after he moved out of her home, she refused to return his property. Defendant Corey Staros says Charles was physically abusive to his girlfriend, and that's why she currently lives in a battered women's shelter. Corey claims after Charles left, she refused to let him in because his girlfriend didn't want him there, and she's countersuing for unpaid bills.
Start with you.
Your Honor, I met Corey through my girlfriend. She's known Corey for about 4 years, and I've been with my girlfriend for a little over a year. We have a 5-month-old child together, and she has a 4-year-old son. Occasionally, we would go out, have drinks together. Sometimes me and her would go out. We would party just me and her.
You and she?
Me and Corey. We never
You met her through your girlfriend?
Before.
Nope.
All right,
Okay.
good enough. She doesn't want your girlfriend to know. Go ahead.
She knew about it, but
Go ahead.
in June of 2010, me and my girlfriend, we were evicted from our house. Corey agreed that we could come stay with her because it would help all of us out. We did so. So everything was going pretty good until Corey started trying to intervene in our relationship. Like I recall one time, me and my girlfriend got into it and Corey jumped in the middle of us.
Yeah, because she's my friend.
I'm already arguing with one woman. I don't need another woman twice my size.
Getting into it in what way, though?
Just arguing. Like,
Did it
no,
look like
I've
it
never
was
put
gonna
my hands
become
on my
physical?
girlfriend.
No,
Never.
I never argued.
Do you have a history of physical
No.
abuse?
No,
All
I've
right.
never put my hands on Kristen.
Okay. Go ahead.
Another occasion, like she got mad about Kristen not doing the dishes one time. Came in our room, told Kristen she needed to get up and come downstairs so they could talk.
Yeah, because they would
she's
sleep
like
all
5
day.
too.
And these are the things that happen when couples move in with others. You know, the owner is the landlord or what have you, don't like the boyfriend or don't like the girlfriend or don't like how the boyfriend treats my sister or don't like how the boyfriend treats my cousin. You're not cleaning up enough. You're drinking too much of the milk. You didn't leave enough cereal. All of that comes into play. That's why folks need to understand that you have to walk on pins and needles when you're living with somebody else. That's the bottom line.
I remember you nagging me when I moved into your place.
That's right. Yeah, that's why I hired you. I said, well, let me get you a job so you can move out. Give me your side, ma'am, before we get to the personal property he's suing about. Tell me the background on the friendship and the tenancy.
Me and Kristen's been friends for a long time. I knew her through her ex-boyfriend, actually. And then I met him through her. And like you said, they lived in their own place. They got evicted. But as for I know, they didn't pay their rent. And that's why they were evicted for several months.
And you expected them to pay you?
Well, he was going to school at the time.
He was going to school when he got evicted?
Yes, I think so.
Right, so what circumstance changed between the time they got evicted from the other place and the time they moved in with you?
Because she agreed to pay me the rent out of her check.
All right. I'm sure she agreed to pay the other landlord that evicted her out of her check.
Yeah. Well, she had a job at the time, actually.
Go ahead,
and
ma'am.
lost
I'm
her
just
job.
giving you some insight on how to stay out of court in the future.
Right.
If
So,
somebody hasn't paid their last landlord, don't count on them paying you unless the circumstances change. Go ahead.
Yeah, I did agree. I let them move in with me on the account that they'd move in for a couple months so they could save up their money and get a place to stay for themselves.
Okay.
And then they moved in. Everything was fine at first. And then, the reason why I only think we're here today is because CJ, abused her, as in he choked her and pulled her hair. And
Said he never put his hands on a woman.
Well, she told me he choked her and, pulled her hair and threatened to bash out her windows.
Did you ever witness any of this?
No, the only thing I witnessed was that he told her he was going to knock her teeth out, and I stepped in and said, no, that's not going to happen in my house.
So did you physically threaten her?
I've threatened her before.
Physically?
No, physically, no, never.
What type of threat then?
Like, I would tell her I would break things. One time she threw an ashtray at me, I threw an ashtray back. We never hit each other.
Okay, so you threatened violence?
Yes, sir.
That's what she's saying. You threatened violence. You said
I've never choked her or pulled her hair, though.
All right, but you threatened violence and...
No, he threatened to bash her jaw in. And then he came to me and said, because I told him he had to leave at that point. And he's like, I didn't mean what I said. It was just out of anger. And I said, well, that's just not going to happen in my house. And that's
You want to get in the middle of this or not?
No.
All right, go ahead. And is
I mean,
that
she's
when
in a battered women home shelter right now because of it.
you want to say anything about that? All right, let's get to the personal property. How does she owe you $2,279 for personal property?
On a Friday night, me and Kristen decided there was too much tension going on within the house between me, her, and her. So we decided we was gonna go down to Wilmington, Ohio for the weekend to try to let the tension cool down. On Saturday night, we went to a pay lake, we went fishing. We got into an argument. We wasn't gonna see each other no more. The next morning, she told me she was gonna go to Corey's house and get her belongings, and I said I would do the same. When I arrived at Corey's house, Kristen was already there. I went to Corey's door, I knocked on Corey's door. She came down the steps like I beat somebody up. She came down scowling, she was angry.
No, I was not.
She said she was not letting me in to get my belongings. She
because
was
Kristen didn't want me to let him in.
I don't know nothing about what
Go
y'all
ahead,
talked
sir.
about in there. But Kristen comes out the side door carrying her things. I go and talk to Kristen. Me and her talk, she was about ready to leave. I knocked back on the door. She told me she was not giving me nothing until I paid her for maybe a DP&L bill that wasn't due for another 2 weeks.
Utility bill?
Yes, sir.
That's what she's
So-
countersuing for? Go ahead.
Right. And I owe rent to own. It was not paid off yet. So I'm like, why would I keep paying the bill at rent to own for property that you
See
had?
what happened.
The facts is she said she set my belongings, my 50-inch flat screen TV, and my Xbox 360 out her back door, and it disappeared.
Let me hear from you, man.
Okay, well, she called me, said she was coming to my house because he had threatened to bash her windows over and that he choked her and pulled her hair, and that she did not even want him there when he showed up. So my front door would not open up at the time. So I went to the door and I said, you can come in as soon as Kristen leaves. I do not want no drama in my house, and Kristen doesn't want you in here right now. So, and to avoid any drama, you need to stay outside. And then when she leaves, you can come in and get your stuff. I proceeded to walk back up the stairs, and he starts to kick in my door. Okay, so then I went back downstairs and I told him he could get off my property and come back when he cooled off, is what I told him. I did not tell him he could not have his stuff. But yeah, he did owe me at the point. I said, well, where's, my money for the DP&L? And he said, I'll give it to you on the 1st.
All right.
And I said,
Let's get
no.
back to his things. Then
Okay,
what?
so then, of course, when he tried to kick my door, and I said, well, I will put your stuff out on the back porch. You can come and get it then. And I put the stuff out on the back
Did
porch.
he agree to
He did not say
waiting on
no.
that?
He did not. Yeah.
Okay.
He walked out the car, and I even actually had first told him before he tried to kick my door in just to go sit and wait until she left and they were inside the house together.
Why didn't you call the police? Someone kicking your door, and you usually call the police, particularly a violent person who beats on women and chokes women.
I just didn't want the drama at my house. I just
You
wanted
had
it
it.
to be over.
When somebody's
with.
kicking in your door, you got drama.
Yeah, true. I mean, I didn't feel threatened. My mom lives a couple
You
houses
didn't feel
down.
threatened?
My mom lives a couple houses down. I mean, it was
Okay.
against him. I mean, I just heard the door kick, and I said, oh, no, you did not just try to kick
Okay.
my door.
Why couldn't you hand them the items?
You didn't
I didn't
feel
want him in my
threatened?
house.
She also said,
I know you didn't want him at your house, but why couldn't you hand him his things?
Well, my front door was broke, so I just said, I'll put it out on the back porch.
Why couldn't you have put it out on the back porch when he was there?
I did tell him I'd put it on the back porch, and he left. And then when,
Oh, and what happened to it?
from what I know, he came and got them.
if my TV was outside her house, I definitely would have went back there
I
and
put his
got it.
clothing and everything else. So why is
Why,
he suing
if
me
he
for
wouldn't
that?
pick them up, why do you think he's here today suing you?
Well, because the insurance isn't going to pay for the rental center isn't going to pay for his property that was taken.
You said he got it.
He's because
You said he must have
because
gotten it.
Renter
Now
Center-
you're talking
he's
about.
saying
No,
Renter-
don't talk over me.
I'm sorry.
Let me remind you of what
Okay.
you just told
Okay.
me. I said, what happened to his property? You said he came and got it. Do you
Right.
remember telling me that
Yes.
now?
Mm-hmm.
I asked her, why is he suing you if he came and got it? Your response then was, because Renter Center won't pay the insurance after his property was taken.
taken by him.
So you said because his fraud wouldn't work against the insurance company, he decided to drum up another fraud by coming here?
Yes.
All right. Did you give him notice, 30 days, that you were going to throw his things out?
No, he said he
All
was
right.
coming
That's
to
an
get them.
illegal eviction. Your counterclaim for $134 is for unpaid bills.
Okay, July they paid half the bills. They paid the rent. They paid half of the Vectron, half of the DP&L then. The second month when it came, which are these bills, they did not pay half of these bills.
August?
Yes.
Let me have them. Sir, did you agree to pay half the bills?
No, we agreed to pay the percentage of what the bills went up.
What percentage?
Like, I think
Like,
the bill,
you either know or you don't know. What do you mean, like?
right. The bill, I think it's like 20,000.
$134 is your judgment regarding the bill. He is unclear. You are very clear. He agrees that they agreed to pay something he doesn't know. He's saying like. You have the property list?
Yes, sir.
And any receipts that you have regarding these items?
Yes, sir.
Television and what else?
Xbox 360.
All right.
Sir, could I say something?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I might have said it the wrong way.
Change that story. Why you
No,
want
it's
to
not. I'm
change
not
it to
changing
say
the
what?
story. No,
All right.
sir.
Say how you want to say it?
No, the reason why I said that he didn't get his stuff or whatever is when the police officer came back
No,
to
you
my
said
house.
he did get it, remember?
Well, yeah,
now
he
you
did.
said he didn't. Have a good day, ma'am. Judgment for the plaintiff, $2,279. One, it was an illegal eviction. You don't put anybody's things out at all
He gave me
unless they ask you to
permission.
do. I don't believe it. That's why he's suing you today. You say he's suing you because this is his second attempt to defraud you. No, I'm sorry.
defraud
First he was trying to
Rent-A-Center.
defraud Rent-A-Center. Now he's trying to defraud me. He's just a big fraud, and he has nothing to do but fly around the country committing fraud or attempting to commit fraud. $2,279 minus 134.
2,145.
2,145 is your judgment. Have a good day.
Really, that's what she told me. That's why she's in the battered women homeless shelter. Why else would she be there? Why else would she be there?
I have my own apartment.
No, you don't. You live in a battered women's homeless shelter.
You're a little
She
lost.
knows where I live.
Well, that's what she told me, so then
Okay.
she's lying to me.
I'm just happy that I got paid for what was rightfully mine.
Yeah, for a lie.
That's it.
He didn't change the address from Rent-A-Center, and the police officer told me that's why he's coming after me is because they will cover the insurance on the TV and the stuff. Why didn't he sue me for his clothes and everything else that he didn't get?